Just doing a little bird watching this morning. Nah, not really. I've been watching these same birds on a feeder loop for the last 20 minutes. Truth is, I'm not looking out a window. I made it. Well, kinda. I built the frame, threw in a TV, rotated the whole thing, and now it's a peaceful backyard view in my unfinished office. Yeah, it's still echoey in here, I know. This room currently sounds like I'm yelling in a cereal box. I'll fix that later. But first, here's how I built this thing.
Here, in the untamed wilderness of the suburban basement, our intrepid workshop Tinkererus Maximus approaches his chosen plank with the solemnity of a high priest at an ancient altar. This is no mere board, it is destined to become the hallowed backside of a faux window box, a monument to the illusion of natural light in the subterranean gloom. He lays it gently upon the sacred yellow table, commandeered in a moment of questionable judgment to serve as sawhorses, noble beasts of burden, as if to whisper, "You shall bear the weight of my life decisions." The ritual persists in the dim glow of the basement wilderness. No fanfare, no pause, only the steady hymn of the circular saw, wielded by our workshop Tinkererus Maximus. These sideboards, his dimensional illusion panels, offer depth to a wall that has, on occasion, been lightly kissed by sunlight, usually by accident, each cut guided by instinct, and a pen mark one sneeze away from vanishing carves more than wood. It carves the hope that this faux window might, just might, convince the YouTube comment section he knew exactly what he was doing. In the subterranean forge he wields his aging Craig jig, a faithful relic of countless campaigns, now spitting plastic shavings like a weary dragon. Each pocket hole, poker hole, etched with stubborn precision, draws the illusion closer to reality. The box, once mere lumber, begins to rise. Then the glue, applied not sparingly but with conviction. Screws follow, each one a whispered vow. This box shall deceive, or at least hold. And now the question looms. Will this become a beacon of faux daylight, or a beautifully squared letdown? If this sacred quest stirs your soul or your curiosity, join the mission below. Tap that button, for here in the basement, every subscriber fuels the fire of one man's stubborn refusal to just buy curtains. In the shadowed crucible of the basement, the back unites with its sides, as if ordained by the ancient lumber scribes of Home Depot's clearance aisle. Each piece aligns by divine glue and questionable math, forming the skeleton of a window that dares to dream of daylight. With each pocket screw, the ritual intensifies. Click, whir, bind. The workshop Tinkererus Maximus drives permanence into the wood. Some call it a box, he calls it legacy. A masterpiece in its infancy, crafted not by perfection but by persistence and probably a YouTube tutorial. Will this vessel of illusion fool the sunless wall? The comment section awaits its verdict. Join them. As you can see, his struggle is real. The drill bit, once a champion of speeds, now gnaws through the wood like a squirrel with arthritis. The TV, placed gently within the faux window box, seems to fit almost perfectly, a mere inch of clearance above, surely a sign that fate itself has smiled upon this build. Emboldened by what can only be described as misplaced confidence, our Mecharus Maximus retreats to his sacred forge, the workshop. There he conjures a mounting system of such complexity, one might assume it was built to launch satellites rather than support a screen. Measurements are taken twice, then once more, just to be safe. The circular saw whirs. Cuts are made with purpose. A template is born, precise, clean, deserving of a small parade. Pilot holes? Perfect. Countersinks? Chef's kiss. For a fleeting moment, a DIY crown rests atop his head, held in place by sheer delusion and man glitter. And yet, beneath the sawdust, something stirs. The math, that ancient enemy, begins to whisper doubts. That flawless plan, it unravels like a harbour freight tape measure past its prime.
That's not right.
And there it is. The sound of every DIYer's spirit folding in half. He measures. Once, then again. The numbers don't lie. The mount, his proud creation, is simply unmistakably wrong. The screen is flipped, the bracket removed. What began as triumph has become a lesson. Behold, a 1x scrap 3/4 thick laid like a reluctant saviour. The level decrees perfection at last. From overbuilt folly, the old bracket reborn as a humble guide, proof even mistakes can teach. Holes drilled with newfound wisdom, countersinks bowing to flush gods, less drama, more done. Screws bite, the bracket holds. He lifts, miracle of miracles, it fits. TV slides home, level crowns the fit. He shrugs. Thumbs up. Easy now, he mutters, after the chaos. Our Tinkererus Maximus measures 31 inches of hope, tempered by a flicker of doubt. Boards are cut, destined for faux glory, by a man who's learned from a sawdust graveyard. Pocket holes multiply, drilled with relentless optimism. With the box flipped like a turtle seeking redemption, our hero clamps down and drives each screw like he's anchoring a legacy. Frame meets box, wood meets willpower, another side secured, until, oh no, frame's too long. A groan echoes, but determination whispers back, a fix is coming. Stay tuned. Once again, the box is flipped and the screws are pulled. An act of quiet regret wrapped in cordless precision. Saw buzzes, boards shrink. Overcorrecting like a DIY pro who's lost count of his oopsies. The clamps return, like old friends who never ask questions. Screws sink cleanly, guided by hard-won wisdom, and maybe a little spite. Top board measured, screwed, hoping this one sticks without a lecture. 3 sides flush, a smile emerges, and then double thumbs up. Not because it's perfect, but because this part is finally done. From the sacred pile of scrap lumber, a 1x6 is chosen, destined to become the bottom sill, the ledge upon which imaginary sunlight shall rest. Secured with care, each screw whispers, "You belong here." The frame accepts its crown jewel. A platform, technically a shelf, legally a ledge, spiritually a speed bump for sunlight. With a deft flip and a few final screws, the maker ensures structural destiny. No gaps, no wobble, just glorious alignment. At last the window stands. Not in a wall, but in triumph. It knows what it is, even if the drywall hasn't caught on yet. The ceremonial unsealing of the paint can, because no DIY project is complete until something gets permanently white. Armed with a 2-inch brush and blind optimism, our craftsman begins covering years of measurement trauma, one soothing stroke at a time. Even the tiny sill gets some love. Sure, it's too narrow for a coffee mug, but it might hold a Lego, a single peanut, or a passing sense of accomplishment. He paints the hidden inside walls too, not because anyone will see them, but because he already opened the paint and refuses to waste $8 of it. The first coat is on. It won't win awards, but it does say, "Hey, I tried." And really, that's the heart of DIY. With the frame now basking in its final coat of optimism, paint, our craftsman turns to the interior slats. Measurements are taken with solemn reverence, for these are no ordinary boards. No, these are future grid lines, architectural illusions meant to convince the eye that this screen is a window. He marks, he cuts, he heads to the sacred altar of precision, the table saw. A notch is born, clean, centered, possibly accidental, but we'll never tell. Each pass through the blade is a tiny victory in the war against eyeballing it. One by one, the slats are prepped, each destined to become part of a glorious grid that screams, "I know what I'm doing," even when he absolutely does not. He dry fits the slats with the tenderness of a man checking if his jeans still fit after Thanksgiving, and to his relief, they do. More pocket holes follow, because if you're not overbuilding it slightly, are you even DIYing? Screws drive home the frame, locking the grid into place like a medieval gate for a window that opens to nowhere. With the slats now in, our hero steps back. For a moment, he dares to admire his work, but then, centering, a deep breath, a pencil mark, the sacred hunt for centerline begins. Satisfied, he paints. Again, this isn't just a coat of white, it's a ceremony. A ritual sealing in hope, mistakes, and maybe a few bristles from the dollar store brush. The cross members are affixed with delicate finish nails, gentle taps that say, "I respect you, fake window." And finally, the finishing strokes. Frame and slats becoming one in a union of matte latex and minor frustration. But wait, how will the cord for the mystical screen pass through? A Forstner bit is summoned, a perfect hole, a test run, the cord fits. A small victory, yes. But in this basement, it feels like threading the eye of the needle. And now, the moment of truth. A cord is plugged in, not just to electricity, but to destiny. Gently, like a newborn fawn being lowered into a meadow of mediocrity, the screen finds its cradle. The frame is placed, slats aligned, purpose fulfilled, a final puzzle piece for a window that doesn't window, and there it stands. No curtain, no breeze, but somehow unmistakably window-esque. With a flick of the remote and a prayer to the tech gods, light returns to the void. Pixels dance, laptops sync. Somewhere a Bluetooth signal high-fives itself, and there it is. Nature on demand. A bird feeder loops eternally like a screensaver for the soul. Who needs sunlight when you have 1080p serenity framed in DIY glory?
Well, alrighty. The Faux, Fox, whatever window is finally done. And I gotta say, actually, it's kind of awesome. Now, it's still gonna need its forever home, which will happen soon-ish. Next up, I'm building some cabinets that's gonna go on both sides of this window. Then eventually this whole office will come together, but that's for another video or two. I just really want to say I really appreciate you being here.